Welcome to the Instant Gaming News channel. We're going to check out all the highlights of what's been going on in the gaming world this week, so let's get into it. Epic Games. Now, as you might have noticed, a lot of people are getting very angry about the Epic Games Store, and it seems to have been that way for a while. The basic complaint is that Epic are buying up exclusives from Steam and forcing people to use their service if they want to be able to play quite a few of the PC's top games. Now, many fans have actually ended up cancelling orders as a result of this, and so to try and diffuse the situation, Epic Games has offered to pay for the refunds so developers aren't left out of pocket. Now, a game called Shenmue will be the first game to actually benefit from this, after fans got angry about finding out that it'll be an Epic Games Store exclusive for 12 months after its release. Now, the game itself is actually due out on November 19th, if it's not delayed again. Now, it is a good thing, obviously, if people don't want to do it that way, that they are able to get refunds, but I can understand why people aren't happy. Apex Legends. So Season 2 has officially launched for Apex Legends, and it brings with it a ton of new content. Now, first off, we have a brand new character in the likes of Watson. Now, Watson's special abilities are pretty cool. She pretty much has a trophy system kind of thing, where she places down a pylon which protects you against incoming grenades, and it also charges your teammate's shield. Now, apart from that, Watson can also kind of corner off specific areas. I downed an opponent while playing the game, and Watson came over and kind of fenced them off so they couldn't be revived by the teammate to lure them over. Now, I thought it was pretty cool, and it is a completely different kind of thing. Now, Watson is by far a stealthy character, as everything she uses pretty much glows. Now, as well as the character, we have a ton of new weapon skins and character skins, and there's also been some new map updates. The giant dinosaur creatures that was in the distance are now in the middle of the map, and when they lift their feet, it makes such a creepy noise, but it also leaves some loot behind with it. And there's also some little dinosaurs scattered around the map that are carrying loot boxes, and if you shoot them, they drop the boxes to give you some gear. Apex has got so much potential, but with every other BR game adding constant map updates to keep things fresh, it is nice to see that Apex is kind of taking this on board. But apart from this, there's a few other things being added as well. With the Battle Pass, you can now get new loading screens, music packs and flight emotes, which do actually look pretty cool. Gran Turismo 7. Now, when Gran Turismo Sport was first announced, and then when it released, it wasn't exactly what fans were hoping for. It seemed a departure in many ways for the long-running series, something that many weren't too fond of. But after adding plenty of post-release content, people have started to come around to it. Now, it feels like the game's developer is feeling nostalgic in their own way, as they say with the next mainline game in the series, Gran Turismo 7, it's going to encompass the series in a whole. The next title that they are working on is going to be a combination of the past, the present and the future in the form of Gran Turismo 7. Now, there's been no word yet of exactly when the next game in the franchise will hit, though it's probably safe to say that it's going to release for the next gen console. EA. One of the publishers at EA has spoken out about how after 25 years with the company, he continues to struggle with how EA is perceived. Now, everyone kind of says that EA is a bunch of bad guys. Now, the publicly traded company with thousands of employees around the world, EA is among the largest, the oldest and the most established company within the gaming world. Now, Matt Bibley from EA explained that when EA makes mistakes, their issues are always blown out of proportion, and that's due to the company's size and scale. As the company does grow larger and larger, it seems to be facing the perception that it becomes more disconnected for new and original ideas, and that's where the EA Originals program comes in. The label behind titles like A Way Out, FE, Sea of Solitude and many other games coming up in the future. EA Originals is an opportunity to connect with the talent of those smaller ideas. When you're part of a big company though, it is easy to fall into the trap, where you see a game concept and just think that it has to be big. But the notion of actually coming up with small, unique game ideas, it's known that players will play games like FIFA or Fortnite. Gamers always seem to have one main franchise that they like playing, but obviously people like to take a break from those games and play something different for a few hours, and it is nice to see that EA is looking at the smaller titles rather than just those massive AAA titles in the franchises, because me personally as a gamer, I tend to stick to say things like Call of Duty or Battlefield, but it is nice to kind of step away and just play something that's a little bit more relaxing and different for a while, just to take a break. My Friend Pedro. Now, My Friend Pedro is 2019's best action game that features a banana. Now, the game has actually sold over 250,000 copies, which is absolutely amazing. Now, most action games tend to stick to the FPS style shooters, and this has a different take on it, which is why it's been such a success. Now, anyone that hasn't played this banana-infused action title definitely needs to give it a go, because it is amazing. More game delays. Now, Cuphead's The Delicious Last Course, along with the new racer Grid, have been delayed again. Now, Cuphead has actually been delayed until 2020, and Grid has actually been delayed just till later on this year, around October time. Now, both games have been stated to be delayed to give the games more exposure and to make sure that they're perfect before release. Now, with so many games being released these days that have got bugs or just feel unfinished to gamers, it is nice to see that developers out there are taking the time to make sure the games are perfect before release. And let's be honest, a lot of people do want to just get their hands on games straight away as early as possible. But on the other hand, when you play a game and it just feels perfect, that's even better. Fortnite and Stranger Things. Now, no one can deny that Fortnite is huge, and with that in mind, the new season of Stranger Things being so anticipated, it is unreal. So imagine if the two join forces. Well, they have. A Stranger Things event is actually taking place in Fortnite, where players are going to be seeing portals from the TV show scattered around the map, where players can kind of quick travel between different places, so watch your back. Now, it has been revealed in some files that there's going to be 2 new Stranger Things related skins added to the game, the first being Chief Hopper and the second being the Demogorgon. Now, I can't wait for the Demogorgon, because I can just imagine what's going to happen when you shoot people. When you get a couple of kills, its face is going to open up and it is going to look crazy. But Epic Games hasn't confirmed when these skins are going to be releasing, but they look amazing. NBA 2K20. Now, NBA 2K20 is on sale for pre-order right now, and if you plan on picking up the game ahead of release, you need to make sure you pick up the right copy. Now, there's a few different copies available. You've got the standard edition of the game, which doesn't really come with any bonus content, and you've got the deluxe edition, which comes with 35,000 virtual currency, 10,000 My Team points, as well as skill boosts and other things. But you can also go for the Legends edition, which comes with 100,000 virtual currency, 50,000 My Team points, and tons of other stuff. Now, NBA 2K20 is actually set for release on September the 6th and is available on Xbox, PlayStation, PC and Nintendo Switch, just in time for the holiday season. Valve Index VR. Now, it's been the first day since the first batch of the Valve Index VR headsets have started to ship out to people. Now, these were actually only available to order for a very, very brief time, and to mark the moment, Valve boss Gabe Newell gave a speech to employees to kind of compare Index to other Valve milestones, such as the Source engine and Steam. Now, he also managed to drop in a Half-Life 3 joke, kind of hinting at the game. Now, during the speech, he stated Half-Life led to Half-Life 2, of course Source led to Source 2, Artifact is the reason that they were able to build Underlords, he said, and maybe someday the number 2 will lead us to that shiny Integra glowing on the mountain someplace. Not exactly confirmed, I guess, but credit to the guy for actually acknowledging the Half-Life 3 situation. Now, obviously, only fans of the series are going to kind of understand that, and Half-Life has been huge, and for a third one in the series to be teased, I'm sure many people are going to be talking about this for a while. Capcom Street Fighter. Now, Japanese police are actually using Street Fighter to recruit cops. Yes, that's not a joke. Characters from the Capcom's famous fighting game franchise are being used for the first time as mascots in the Osaka Prefectural Police's recruitment advertising scheme. Now, it turns out Capcom has been working with Osaka Police as well as other nearby police forces on various crime prevention awareness campaigns since 2013. Now, this year though, Capcom received a request from Osaka Police to use Street Fighter characters for the very first time. Now, 3,000 flyers are being distributed as well as 1,000 posters placed at the stations and police boxes and train stations. It's hard to imagine how this is going to work, and it's really cool to see, but as we're all aware, gaming's taking over the world. But that's pretty much it for this week, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, a like would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and make sure you ding dong that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time.